got more news coming out of MGM. It looks like Michael B. Jordan may be following in the footsteps of his predecessor, Sylvester Stallone, for Creed 3. Stallone not only starred as the titular character of his 1976 film Rocky, but ended up directing its sequels. And according to Deadline, Jordan is considering taking over the director's role for the third installment of Creed. The report was part of the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's theatrical distribution plans and possible streaming deals, if any, in the age of the global pandemic. Also trending, Jordan may be heading back into the comic universe to produce a Warner Brothers and DC Comics film of Static Shock, based on the DC and Milestone Comics character Static, a comic following high school student Virgil Hawkins, who transforms into a superhero with electromagnetic powers. Static first became widely known in the early 2000s animated series Static Shock.
Static Shock? Oh, man.
I'll pass this one off to you guys. You just put that video of Michael B. Jordan back, and I'll just
Let's put that small little Creed movie thing stored in
the workout montage.
Just the shirtless Michael B. Jordan shots, and you two have fun.
Yeah. What was that about? A shirtless Michael B. Jordan? That's nothing. Static Shock. No. I was surprised that I thought that Michael B. Jordan would get a lot of love online about it, which he is. I've seen a lot of people really pumped about this. Then I'm weird like this. All it took was one negative comment to trigger me on Facebook, because I saw one guy with that a GIF that had a person like shaking their head like this is like bad news or something like that, and I immediately went on the attack. I'm like, what are you trying to say? I mean, Sylvester Stallone didn't have that much directing experience, and he went to direct Rocky 2 and things like that. At least Michael B. Jordan is waiting until the third movie. I just went on a whole list of why it was okay. Is
that just what makes you feel alive at this point? Like, what is that impulse?
Yeah, just going out, defending something that I'm not financially invested in, but because I like the actor. But it was, I just felt like this is what actors normally would it makes sense for an actor to take their steps into directing into a project like this, a small project. I mean, Creed is financially successful, but it's still like relatively, I guess, in the production wise, small enough to where it's like, if I was the producer, I'd take a risk. Hey, Michael B. Jordan knows the material. There's another great director on set with him, Stallone, to help him out with any questions, and if anything he gets stuck on and suggestions. Go for it, Michael. You got my blessing. If I was the producer. What about you, Rama? What do you think about this news about Static Shock? I mean, Creed 3.
Well, on the Creed matter, I mean, a big fan of both films, man. They're great. When the first Creed arrived, I was like, I don't know if they can continue Rocky's story like this, but they did a fantastic job with both films. And I think experience-wise, there's no better way to find out unless you jump in both feet, into the water. I mean, and I think Michael B. Jordan, a lot of actors turn filmmakers. They work well. They work wonders because they know how to collaborate with actors because they themselves are actors. So, only a few examples I can think of actors that turn filmmakers and they kind of suck. But mostly it works wonders, and I can't wait because I think Michael B. Jordan has the skills. If he's not comfortable in his filmmaking skills, he can always have a co-director, or I think like the case of Slumdog Millionaire, I believe that movie, Danny Boyle, he had a technical director, if you will. So there's always that option. So, I think he should do it.
Yeah. What about you, Amy? What do you think? Good idea or bad idea?
Yeah, I think good idea. I mean, I agree that it's a bit of a nothing to lose situation, because even if there are missteps, it's a proven enough franchise, like beyond being a part of such a proven franchise. Like there have been two really good Creed movies that kind of know the tone of it. They know the voice of it. They've proven it works. I think it could be a really good chance for him to break out on his own as a director. I think he's one of those actors everybody likes, everybody wants to see succeed. I'm sure there's that one guy on Facebook who disagrees with me, but on the whole, I think he's someone who's really poising himself smartly, sort of riding the wave of all these successes to start branching into a different, pieces of the entertainment industry, different fields sort of within what he knows how to do. And, there's no telling how it'll go, proof's in the pudding, but I think it could be a lot of fun.
My only condition is that on the set when he's directing, he has to be shirtless.
That,
so, yeah.
Rama, you read my mind.
The thirst for
And just I will buy the DVD solely for the behind the scenes footage.
just like
I'll be like, Creed 3, I didn't see it. It's like you have a DVD copy that's just like worn through. Like, no, I just
never made
it's
it
not
inside
important.
never made it inside the theater. The poster was right there, and I just couldn't stop looking at it. Right. But as far as the Static Shock thing, I'm very excited about that. That's a cartoon that I liked, and before the cartoon, I was a fan of the comic book. I collected a few comic books of originally it was a company called Milestone. Was it Dwayne McDuffel, I believe was his name. Well, a couple of years ago he passed away. He died of cancer. The man who invented those characters. He started a company called Milestone Comics. He wanted a comic book that had all black superheroes and storylines, and that was the main focus. And then DC purchased it. They worked together, and Dwayne did a lot of great work with DC. He became their head writer, if I'm not remembering that incorrectly, and wrote a lot of great cartoon film movies for DC for Warner Brothers, and their storylines in the comic book world, and he would have. I think he would be happy to see a person like Michael B. Jordan help with that project. Milestone Comics and DC. I wish they would have done more with those characters a long time ago. Static is their Spider-Man, their breakout star. That's the one that gets the most attention, the ones that people know the most of. But there's a lot of great stories there in Milestone. So I'm just curious to see what happens with that. But question is, guys, what do you guys think about the whole thing with Creed 3, the shirtless Michael B, and the possible Static Shock? Let us know below, and we might talk about all of that good stuff on We Got Your Mail.